Do you know, you cannot beat a proper British greasy spoon cat. The smell and the... But I was in here, I've come back here today because I was here 20 years ago and it was a day like no other. Yeah, and about in the year 2000, I was sitting in a cafe with a PR girl who looks after super celebrities. I said, what's wrong? And she said, oh, I've got Lionel Ritchie coming into London next week. And I said, oh, that'd be good fun. And she said, it won't be good fun because he was meant to be coming in 2 weeks and I don't know what to do. I've got to take him out for a day and I don't know what to do. And we were having a big fry up, you know, egg and bacon and stuff like that. And I just said, well, I know what. Let's bring him to this cafe and give him an ordinary day out, a nice fry up, and then take him on a bus and a tube. And he can sort of do the ordinary things that everyday people do. And she said, are you nuts? She said, do you honestly think that I'm going to tell Lionel's manager that Duncan Ray-Ban's going to take Lionel out for a day? It's just not going to happen. And I said, well, joking apart, it might be quite funny to take Lionel and shoot him having a typical ordinary day out of an average person. And she said, it's not going to happen. Anyway, I kissed her goodbye and I said, don't forget to tell her. She said, forget it. Now, 3 days later, I'm in a pub and my phone rings. It's about 11 at night, 10 at night. And it's a guy says he's Lionel Richie's manager. And I thought it was a wind up. He said, Duncan, Robert, we love this idea. Sorry we're calling you so late. Lionel is in London Monday and he'd like you to take him out for a day. And he loves the idea of a greasy spoon breakfast. And I just did think it was a wind up. And the next morning I discovered it wasn't a wind up. And that the next day, Monday, I'm gonna have to go to his hotel suite and meet Lionel Ritchie and take him out for a day on my own. So what do you do? You know, Lionel Ritchie, crikey. So anyway, I just went up to London and I started driving around trying to find a greasy spoon cafe in the Chelsea area near where I knew where his hotel was. And I thought if I could find a cafe, but there was nothing. But then I was going down this sort of terraced houses, sort of thinking, God, I was so stressed. And suddenly there's this cafe sitting there and it's got net curtains. And I got out of the car, looked in the window and there's all handwriting on the wall. I thought, oh, that'd be perfect. But it was shut, so I couldn't organise anything. So the following morning, I go to Lionel's hotel. It's 7:30. I'm nervous as hell. I go up to the top floor, knock on this big white door, his hotel suite, and there's no answer. And I'm going, oh, Jesus, you know. And I knocked again, and Lionel comes to the door in a dressing gown. He says, hi. He said, Duncan, really looking forward to our day out. Look, I'm just in bed. Help yourself to a coffee. So I go in, have a cup of coffee, and Lionel's in bed reading the newspapers, and I thought, God, that's a good set of pictures. Lionel, do you mind if I just do some snaps? Do what you want. Do what you want. It's your day. And I'd written him a note, right? And I'd said, I want to paint with my camera all day. And that's the thing about these cameras, right? The camera does not take, it's just a tool. It's what you do with it. You know, you've got to paint with your camera. It's no good getting expensive trendy cameras. You just the picture comes from in here. That's what I think, down your arm and your imagination. A bit like great painters, if they have a different brush, they're not going to take a great picture, are they? So that's my thing about cameras. You paint with your camera. So I started painting with my camera, painting Lionel, and he was sort of laughing, and then he went to the bathroom, had a shower. And then I said, can I come in and do you getting out the shower? And he said, yeah, sure. And I did him shaving and some other pictures. And he's sort of saying, oh, you're mad, you know. And I said, well, I'm not mad. I just want to try and capture you behind the showbiz. And he said, that's great. So when we go to the cafe, and I said, well, when you get dressed. So he got dressed, put his Gucci gear on, had all his vitamin tablets. And then we got in my car and we drive to this cafe. And it's about 9:15 in the morning, so Monday morning, and it's dull, grey. And I said, Lionel, wait here, and I go in a cafe. And as I open the door, it's packed with electricians, builders, plumbers, and all shit. Oi, mate, wait. And there's a couple of women at the pouring tea out, like, you know, loads of mugs of tea. And I said, excuse me, is it all right if I bring somebody in to take a picture? Yeah, mate, just go and sit down. And I said, oh, I'm bringing, could I just have 2 Olympic breakfasts? I just want to do a quick picture. Yeah, mate, just sit down. Diane will bring your order over. Who are you bringing in? I said, oh, I've got a musician in the car. You have you? Okay, mate. Here, Jesus bringing a musician in. Who are you bringing in there? And I said, oh, I've got Lionel Ritchie in the car. You've got Lionel Ritchie in the car. Okay, mate. Oi, he's bringing Lionel Ritchie in the calf. You go and get Lionel, mate. What's this Beatles about? And I thought, so I went outside, opened the door. Lionel, in you come. It's going to be different. He said, great fun. He opens the door, and as Lionel opened the door, I'm behind him, the calf just went silent. You could hear a pin drop, and his women just stared at him. Anyway, he was just so friendly. We spent an hour in there. I got an old boy who was sucking chips next to Lionel with a cap on. And I was just snapping away, and we were laughing and joking, and Lionel was chatting to everyone. And then, that's it. I parked up the car. I took him on a bus, a tube, a cab. We went around London. People were saying hello to him. He was singing. We went to Westminster Bridge. We went to a pub and had a steak, and it was just a wobbly, sort of candid, fun day out, and it was great fun. And as I say, I just painted with my camera. So yeah, and I ended up going away with him for 3 days, and he told me loads of stories, and all that came out of really just being silly and suggesting something nutty. So if you've got ideas, sometimes just say what you think, because you just never know what can happen, do you? And Lionel approved those pictures. They published all over the world. And then not long after that, I got another day in the life. But I'll tell you about that in part 2, 3 or 4, okay? Thanks very much for listening. Take care. Bye.